Small workshop guy here. I just thought I'd do a little live session on our Facebook group for a few minutes. Maybe if anybody sees this and wants to join, that would be great. Looks like a couple of people are looking on. Use the comment button. I think I'll be able to see your comments, and then I can answer your questions if you have any. And the other thing is, the topic of the day is, one, where are you from? And two, what jigs or tools or items have you actually bought, not built yourself, but bought from other real woodworkers? By real woodworkers, I mean they're not commercial products sold by Lee Valley Hardware or Amazon or somebody. Yeah, maybe Etsy. Maybe you bought them on Etsy from a woodworker. And I'm going to give before I start talking about the ones that I have, we'll wait and see for a few more people to come online here. What have I got while we're waiting? What have I got going on in my workshop? I'm finishing up two great big deck chairs. They are Samurai Carpenter style. They're from his plans off of the Maker's Mob. And so from that Maker's Mob, I actually get the plans, as well as I get like 8 or 10 support videos telling me step by step how he did the build. And I find that really useful, because when you got those kinds of lessons, what actually happened is the guys will tell you things as they go that are tips and techniques. I'm also going to build a bed, and that one's primarily the plans from the Wood Whisperer, from the Wood Whisperer TWW Guild. And so I bought his plans, and then he's got 8 or 10 videos to go along with those plans, and he's really, really good at explaining stuff. So again, guys, if you can comment, I get a little message through my software here that says that I can't see certain comments because I'm not the administrator of the group, when in fact I am the administrator of the group. I see that message. I don't know what to do about it. Could somebody go ahead and post a comment of some sort, just saying I'm here, or just saying where you're from, so that I can see if the comment part of this thing is working. If not, I'll probably just do my part here and then not expect to have any communications with you guys. And then I'll bail out early, and next time we'll just do it directly in Facebook using Facebook Live. The reason I like to use Ecamm Live is I can bring things onto the screen. I can switch cameras, although I only have one camera set up for today. And I can also show PDFs and things of that nature. So I prefer to use Ecamm Live if it'll work for me. Again, somebody please type a comment, and so I can see if this thing's working. If I don't see any yet. So if you've typed and I don't see a comment, then type a comment and tell me no. Anyway, we're in a vicious circle there, aren't we? So here's what I got to do. I'll wait for some comments. If I don't see any of them, that means that that obviously the system's not working. But I'll go ahead and talk about what I want to talk about. So, jigs or tools that you've bought from other woodworkers. The first one is from a good buddy of mine. He's become a buddy through our various Facebook groups, and he also built his Samurai Carpenter Workbench the same time I did, so we shared a lot of things through Maker's Mob Facebook group. Anyway, he built this for me, and I purchased it from him, and it's absolutely beautiful. And I love using it to chop out my mortises and tenons. Primarily chop out my mortises. And the fella that built this and has built a batch of them and sold them to quite a number of people is Nathan Fought, F-O-U-G-H-T. He's in Pennsylvania somewhere. And Nathan will probably be making another batch of these at some point. So he underprices them compared to buying them off of King's Woodworking website. And so, and he's part of our group. So maybe he'll let us know through a post when he's going to make another batch. Although I understand he's going to make a whole bunch of pins for somebody for Christmas for some corporation. So he might be too busy to make these. So anyway, that's my little, what do you call that? A woodworking hammer, a Thor hammer, whatever. I also have one from made for me or turned for me on his lathe. And that's from our, I'm in a homeowners group here in a townhouse. And to try to keep good relationship with the homeowners group, I kind of, every time I see the president, I invite him in for a beer and for a little workshop discussion. He's got his workshop up in the mountains, but he turned that for me. So I figured when I got that, I probably wasn't going to get any grief from the homeowners about my workshop. All right, so those are two mallets that I have. That same guy turned these handles for me for two of my files. And I haven't got into lathe work yet, so I'm always amazed by these things. I'm sure when I get into it, I'll say, wow, that's pretty easy, really. But maybe not. All right. From a guy named Jonathan Katz Moses. Now, he's part of our group, and he's got a very successful YouTube channel as well as a website. The first thing I got from Jonathan was this translucent dovetail jig. So it's got some angles where you put this up against your dovetail and you'll get the proper angles for doing a dovetail. And it's got little magnets in it. And I don't do many dovetails by hand. If I'm going to do them, I do them with my shaper Origin. But this has got a 90-degree shoulder on it as well, so it's very useful to put it down when I want to do a straight line. And my saw, when I put that up to it, because of the magnets, that just clicks on there. And then I can saw and it stays on that face. And so that gives me a nice straight cut, if you can see what I'm doing. So, come on, Paul, where's that angle? So, anyway, I really like that. Got that a long time ago from Jonathan. I think he just calls it his dovetail jig. Wasn't a whole lot of money, I think $45 or something. That was worth it. Another item that I got from the same guy, Jonathan Katz Moses, is his stop block. And let me try to get where there's not so much glare on there. So that's a really well-engineered, really nice stop block that he invented. It even has the ability to raise it up and down if you're strong enough to do the thumb screw, and set it at different levels, and you can do micro adjustments without changing it on your device. So that one I like. I put that on my, this is my extension to my crosscut sled. So when I want to do something out beyond the normal capacity of crosscut sled, I just attach that to my crosscut sled using match fit dovetail clamps, and then set the index here at 0, and then it goes all the way out to 47 inches for me. So I got that from Jonathan Katz Moses. And then recently I got this from Jonathan Katz Moses. Now I had almost an identical one. You can see this has got his logo on it. And it's the same price as the one that I had gotten off of Amazon, but it's all kind of extra special customized. Two things it's got that were not on my regular apron, workshop apron, is this to hold my combination square. So that little leather holster, I really, really like that. The other thing I always struggled with my apron was where to put my marking knife. It would either tear out the bottom of a thing, or if I put a little leather sheath on it, that would fall off in the bottom, and I was always digging it out. So this one has a little leather pocket where that fits nice and snugly in there. And also, for some reason, this one's a little tighter than my old one was, and so I can put my calipers in there. So I've got the Jonathan Katz Moses workshop apron. Highly recommend that. I just like supporting, you know, people who are real woodworkers, who are inventive enough to come up with something and then create it and sell it to the marketplace. I don't know if this is the last one. I think this is the last one I'm going to talk about. This is a router plate that I got from Chris Segoras. He's one of the administrators or one of the moderators of this Facebook group. I'm still surprised I don't have any comments, even though I see quite a number of people watching. So again, comments must not be working. So this goes on to your router in place of the regular base, and it's all calibrated. And the beauty is, as you want to do a mortise, you can slide these rails back and forth, and this is all indexed, and so you can set your distance. And you don't even need to do that. You just put those on opposite sides of your workpiece and then close them up tight, and then slide them till you get your bit right where you want to get your bit, and then those rails slide along. So I had one that I built from Samurai Carpenter where I just got the plexiglass and I built it myself. But that one you gotta, and that one I drilled hundreds of holes all the way around the outside. But that one you have to kind of work with pieces of wood for your fencing and screw up into to hold that wood where you want it. This is so much nicer. And again, Samurai Carpenter doesn't sell his. He just showed it as part of his YouTube channel. But this is so much nicer to be able to slide these rails back and forth. I use my regular edge guide a lot, but I do find that this comes into play for me. It also, he's designed this so you can put this bar going this way, and then you can use a special attachment he has and do circles. So this also operates as a really nice circle cutting jig as well. Well, anyway, I think those are the... Oh, I know one more, although I don't have it yet, so I've got a picture of it to show you. Izzy Swan just came out with this. Let me expand that a little bit. You know, when you're on your table saw and you're pulling your crosscut sled way back, or you're pulling your miter gauge way back, and it drops off the edge, or your workpiece, you push down on it and it lifts up above the saw blade. Well, this puppy that I have on order that he's come out with is an extension to your table saw. And he's got it designed for different manufacturers. The one I bought is for my saw stop. And so that just attaches, and then he's got the slot in it that you line up with the miter slot on the table saw. And I think he calls it a table saw in-feed saddle. Table saw in-feed saddle, because it kind of looks like a saddle. And it just supports your work. And he's got a video on it on his website as well as on his YouTube channel. And I love Izzy, so anything I can do to help support Izzy, other than just do Patreon, is cool. All right, so those are some things that I have. Maybe you can comment when I post this on Facebook. Go ahead and comment, even though you couldn't comment at the time that I was doing this. Go ahead and leave your comments there. So leave some comments to this live thing. Where are you? What tools or jigs have you bought from actual woodworkers? And you guys have fun in your workshop. And I'll be probably doing a live next Sunday where I'm going to talk about some free plans that I'm giving away to my Sawstallions. Those are I built a model of them, or a prototype of them, out of 2x4s. So with about 10 8-foot long 2x4s, you can build a beautiful set of sawhorses. Trestle style, super stable, super steady. Can be used for all sorts of things like an outfeed table for your table saw, set out in your driveway, pop-up workbench, and particularly if you put all of these match fit dovetail grooves in them, then they give you phenomenal clamping capabilities. Anyway, I'm out of here. You guys have a good day. We'll talk to you later, and thanks for being part of the group. Make sure you report to us if you see any inappropriate posts, and have a great day.